Yo, what up? What's poppin'? Back at it again with another video for y'all. I know some of y'all probably was wondering, what's my take on the whole like war between Ukraine, Russia. I mean, I don't really know too much about it because when it comes down to like politics and stuff and wars, I don't really pay very close attention to it. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't really have nothing to do with me and it doesn't really have nothing to do with you. Because I know some people feel that, like, when it comes down to 9/11, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do feel that 9/11 is an important day to remember in history, but some people probably feel that maybe 9/11, was something that was like planned, or some people may feel that 9/11 was like an inside job, but I still feel that 9/11 is an important day to remember in history. But what I want to discuss with y'all, I just wanted to give y'all my take on this. And this video is not going to be very long, but my take on this is that when it comes down to war, war is not really good for anything. But you see, when it comes down to being in the military, like whether like you serving in the army, the Marine Corps, the Air Force, the Navy, Coast Guard, like they prepare you for war. And you see, when it comes down to being in the military, like in the army, the Marine Corps, the soldiers, the Marines, they don't really get paid much. But you see, they always tell us that when it comes down to the soldiers and when it comes down to the Marines, they're risking their life for us. But you see, they don't really get paid much. But yeah, my take on it is that war is not really good for anything. I mean, war, doesn't really like it doesn't really like, make everything better, because that's mainly what you're in the military to do. You're in the military to fight war. Like, when it's time for war, you got to be prepared. I mean, really, if you somebody out there that plans on going in the military and like there's a war going on, going in the military when there's a war going on is not a good idea. And you see, some people, when it comes down to them going in the military, some people just go in the military so they can like pay for college, because the military, they pay for you to go to school. Some people just go in the military so like they can pay for college or whatever. But yeah, when it comes down to war, like World War III, like, I don't feel war is like really good for anything. Like, you risking your life for a country. They always like to tell us that, soldiers and Marines be protecting themselves, but they don't really make that much money and stuff. And sometimes it seems, not just with the police brutality, but sometimes it kind of seems that even in the military, I don't know, when it comes down to fighting wars, sometimes it kind of seems that people be dying in vain, even when it comes down to war. But I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I know, like, when it comes down to war, you gotta be prepared. You gotta be prepared, but still, because people, just like Colin Kaepernick had stated about the police brutality with black males, George Floyd, the situation that happened with George Floyd, and then with other black males that got shot and killed by police officers. Like, these are innocent black males. Like George Floyd, he was an innocent black male, and a racist police officer had his knee on his neck where he couldn't even breathe. And just like Colin Kaepernick had stated, people are dying in vain. But yeah, my take on the whole situation is that war is not good for anything. War is not good for anything. Like, just like they say, violence is not the answer. And, you know, a lot of times with situations like war is not always the answer either. But yeah, World War III, that's just my take. war is not good for anything. That's just my take on this. Again, I don't pay very close attention to this stuff because it don't really like have nothing to do with me, and it don't really have nothing to do with you. But what I do know is that, when it comes down to war is not really good for anything. Don't forget, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell on my channel, comment, share. Love y'all.